What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 8th day of February, and here we are sitting at about 71.2K with roughly 9 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? Before we really get into the TA, I just want to set our expectations in the right way and just show you guys, by way of the chart, what we're dealing with here, right? These 2 days, the 6th and the 5th, we saw greater than 10% days, right? You look at this here, the percentage drop was negative 14%. The percentage growth here was 12%. That's crazy. Bitcoin doesn't see 10% days, you guys. It doesn't see it too often. And I want to set our expectations in the right way. We're not going to continue to move like this, okay? That's not going to happen. I mean, if we do, maybe we just keep going like back and forth. Sometimes you get weird stuff like that, but probably not with such a large market cap asset. We're not going to move like this. This movement, this fast movement, was largely caused by a shift in emotional capacity for the average market participant, right? This is the point when people accepted that we were in a bear market, and people really, quite literally, capitulated and accepted, panic sold. They panic sold, right? Because they accepted we were in a bear market. When really it's like, man, that might have been the best time to buy, actually. It quite literally was the best time to buy over the past couple of years. And again, on this note of 10% days, if you go through all of these days here, you're going to find that not a single one of them was greater than 10% from an open to close. Not even this day on October 10th from an open to close. On the wick, of course, it was greater than 10%. Sometimes we range more than that, but open to close is what I'm going with here. And the last 10% day that we had, to the upside or the downside, you know, this was 9.5%. That's very close, but technically it's not there, right? No cigar. Let's be technical. It's technical analysis. It was back in November of 2024. That was our last 10% day for Bitcoin. Unless I've missed something here, but if it wasn't this one, that was a pretty big candle. I don't see any of these other ones competing. All I'm trying to say is this is a rarity, so don't get used to the pace. This happened because of a flush of emotions. It's been a few days. It's the weekend. It's the Super Bowl. People are going to unwind. All kinds of other stuff is going on in the world right now. Like, it's the emotional capacity, the emotional shift has already happened, and I don't think that we're in these high emotion times. Therefore, I don't think we're going to see high volatility necessarily, right? And we might see some volatility. I just don't think it's going to be like this, right? We're not going to be doing this stuff. It's not going to be 10% days back and forth. This was how we were for the past 3 or 4 months, or let's see, it was November, December, January, February. So like 3 months, 2.5 months. This is how we were before that. Even when we're moving down, look at how big the candles are, right? It's not that voluptuous. It's not that vibrant. So when we move up, when we do recover, it's going to be slower probably. I don't expect from here that we will go above 80K, or if we do go above 80K, I don't believe that we go too much above it. We might interact with this low. But again, if we interact with it at all, we probably find resistance here. I'm thinking when we come up here, we don't even find resistance at this low point here. We don't go above that at all. We find resistance below. So I'm thinking we don't even get above 80K, or if we do, it'll be barely above 80K. But that's my thoughts. And I don't think that it's going to be a fast pace. The fact that we've pumped up from now, we're sitting on the upside, we might come back down, find some support. Let's look at the short-term stuff and see what's going on. Okay, let's look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there. All right, 1 hour time frame here, 71.2K. Looking at this here, I mean, you do have ascending lows. You kind of have an ascending structure, and you do have a flat top. To be fair, technically, you do have like this double top scenario. I don't typically like it whenever you're moving up and you're breaking out and you don't have volume, but you're not really breaking out yet. You do have a higher 1 hour close, but I wouldn't say that you're breaking out yet. Let's look at the indicators. The RSI looks fine. The stochastics look fine. The MACD looks fine. I honestly don't have any problems with any of this. So we could keep moving up. Let's look at the 4 hour. Let's see what's going on. Again, the volume could be problematic. It's not problematic yet, right? If we end up coming down here, if we end up going back down to like 68K or lower, I would say at that point we probably do have a double top. We're taking on this M shape, and we probably do come back down again to form a higher low. Maybe we form a lower low. That's possible. Again, be very accepting, be very open to this idea. This does not have to be the low. Yes, we put in a dramatic V-shaped recovery, but to be fair, it was a failed V. V-shaped recoveries, if they're successful, they go back to where the V began. The V did not begin here, but that's where you stopped. That's where you found resistance. So that's actually a failed V. V-shaped recoveries are very bullish. This takes the bullishness right out of it. and it can't still be a V-shaped recovery doing this. That's not a V-shaped recovery. So there is a solid chance where if we do go down, we probably go below this low. Does that mean that we go below this low? No, but it also opens up the door to go below this low. So be open-minded to the idea that we could, in fact, before going to higher prices than where we are now, we could go below 60K and then come back up. It's very possible. It is very possible. It doesn't mean that's the call. That's not the call. That's not what I'm calling for. I don't know what the call is yet. I'm just making you aware of the situation at hand, right? That's why we started with setting our expectations the right way and the speed that we're dealing with here, right? A lot of people are getting euphoric because we've seen some fast movements. That's exciting. That's great. People are capitulating. All the perma bulls are capitulating, and that typically does happen whenever we're at the end of the cycle. But at the same time, there is a point, and I've been through now 4 bear cycles. There is a point in every bear cycle where the majority of people believe we are in a bear market, and we're still in a bear market for like 6 months or more after that. Okay, the majority of market participants at the end of a bull market, maybe not the beginning of a bull market, but somewhere in the second half, believe we're in a bull market, and we're still in a bull market, and we still have a bull market finale. The majority of people over halfway through a bear market, or even sometimes less than halfway through a bear market, believe that we're in a bear market, and we're still in a bear market even with the majority there. So it's not quite that simple. The majority can be right more or less, but it's these focal points where that shift happens. That's where you see these dramatic volatile moments. But again, I digress. We've already gone over this in the beginning. What I'm trying to address now is what we're going to do next. From a 4-hour perspective, looking at the 4-hour RSI, I mean, the RSI, first and foremost, it sucks. It's beaten up. It's terrible. It doesn't look good. This is exactly what you'd want to see if you were bearish. This is exactly what you'd want to see if you were bullish. And it's the exact opposite. It's literally the exact opposite. We take this high and connect the dots here. Look at where you are. You're right there. You're right at the 60. You're coming in line with this. You're a bearish RSI overall. I don't like it, guys. I am starting to vibe with the idea that we do find resistance here and that we do come down. And that might make sense. It's Sunday. Next week, tomorrow's Monday. It's the beginning of a new week. We might start off the week to the downside and then recover the week to the upside. Have a wick coming up. That's actually a better look. So the stochastics look good. The MACD looks good. But overall, you are bearish still. And you've built a lot of bullish momentum, and you haven't really done much with it. So I do take the stance from now that we probably do pull back below this low of 67K. Hold on 1 second, you guys, okay? Okay, so 71.3K right now. 71.3K right now. I'm pretty confident that we do go below this low. I'm not so confident that we go below this low, but I wouldn't bet that we go below this low. I wouldn't bet that we don't go below this low. You know what I mean? It's still kind of up in the air. Anything can happen. I wouldn't be devastated if we did. All I can say is if we do go below this low, I don't expect it'll be too dramatic. And if we look at this on a daily time frame, from a relative low here to a relative high, the 2618, the double golden extension down here is at 58.8K. When I say go below this low, that's kind of what I would expect. Something small, not something dramatic. I mean, at the worst, 53K could happen. That'd be crazy. We probably get some serious bullish divergence going on. But anyways, 4-hour time frame. The stochastics are reset. The RSI sucks, and the MACD is bearish overall. I think we're going to go lower. I feel pretty confident in that. That doesn't mean that we can't go a little bit higher first. Maybe we get a fake out. That typically is what Bitcoin likes to do. It likes to fake people out. So if we do see prices above 72K, don't get too excited. I'm very confident from here that we go down to 67.3K. We go below 67.3K. From a low to a high, I'm assuming we'd find support anywhere from 65.6 to 61.2K. Maybe right there in the middle, we'll go for the golden ratio, 64.2 to 63.4, with a very, very open mind that anything in this range could happen, and also anything in this range could also happen. So very open mind, but I'm sticking with the idea of a higher low and a golden ratio bounce, just as classic. That there's no like real statistical probability for that other than it's the classic kind of maneuver, right? We could find support somewhere in here. We could find support somewhere in here. I'm going with the in-between zone. We could find something lower, but we'll know that if we close below 61.2K. If we close below 61.2K on any 4-hour or daily basis, likely we will go below $60,000. Okay, that's what that is. Daily time frame. Looking at the daily time frame, looking at our indicators here, RSI got very oversold, and that's nice. That's okay. Typically, when we do get this oversold, we do see consolidation phases that last for about 30 to 60 days or longer, right? Like we just did there whenever we were this oversold. Stochastics are coming up, and that's nice, but overall you do have hidden bearish divergence where you get higher highs like this in your RSI, higher highs, while you have lower highs in your price like this. So it's hidden bearish divergence on your RSI and an overall bearish daily RSI. You're still in this kind of downtrend with lower lows and lower highs here. Hidden bearish divergence with your stochastics. Your MACD sucks overall. You are at a low point with your oscillators. You know, you're at a low point probably even with your histogram, but it doesn't mean that it can't get lower. Typically, these low points are like just the beginning of the end is what it is. Really, not the end of the end. 3-day time frame, just getting started on the MACD. Stochastics are still bearish, and the RSI really is problematic. I mean, dating all the way back. Look at this, guys. Look at how absolutely fierce this trend is here. That's crazy. Dating back to what, like May of 2025? That's crazy. That is interesting, though. We could set up for a bullish divergence. This is again, guys. That July August time is really looking good for like the end of this bear market. I think. I really think it is. But anyways, overall, more or less from this area, whether we take out a slightly lower low, whether we get a higher low or whatever, whether I'm wrong and we don't pull back at all, we just keep moving up, I do think that we're more at a place to find support than resistance. We probably do consolidate here, and through that consolidation, just like this, we will slowly but surely work our way up to about $80,000, probably just below there, over the next month or two. And then selling may go away. Time for death. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, all right? And I don't know. I'm not going to make any political statements, but man, shit's weird in the world right now, you guys. You guys saw the flaming pentagram at the Winter Olympics, right? Right? Like there's been in my history, in my lifetime, I've seen Super Bowls, I've seen FIFA World Cup, I've seen Olympic events time and time again. There's always some type of symbolism there, right? That seems a little weird. This and you could say it's satanic, demonic. You could say it's whatever, you know. There's all those conspiracies, but this is like weird, man. You got a flaming pentagram, and like everybody in the world is kind of aware of the conspiracy of a satanic cult running the world. Like this, it's kind of like they're putting it in our face and being like, yeah, so you know now, and this is us saying we win, we've got control. I don't like it. I don't like it. We as a world need to push back against this. I'm not trying to give a whole spiel on this. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm really just trying to say it's fucking weird, man. Like a flaming pentagram. Am I missing something? I don't think I'm missing anything. I think it is exactly as it looks. I mean, man, there's some weird shit going on in the world right now, you guys. And if they're bold enough to do something like that, we have to be better. We got to do better. We got to push back. I don't know what that means. But it's weird shit, man. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.